Clerk, I'd like to welcome everybody to the special council meeting of Wednesday, May 22nd, 2024. And we will begin by reading the land acknowledgement. The Township of Oro-Medonte acknowledges that we are situated on the traditional land of the Anishinaabe people and ancestral territory of the Huron-Wendat. The Anishinaabe include the Odawa, the Ojibwe, and the Potawatomi nations, collectively known as the Three Fires Confederacy. It continues today as the home for diverse Indigenous peoples, including the historic Métis community in Penetangwisheen. The Anishinaabe people continue to have an enduring relationship with this land, specifically the Chippewas of Rama First Nations, the Chippewa Tri-Council, and the Williams Treaties First Nations. The Huron-Wendat nations also continue to pay respect and protect their ancestors and heritage on this land. We honor the Indigenous history and culture that has thrived for millennia in this territory and the treaties that bind us together as partners in the spirit of a shared, sustainable, and prosperous future. We are all treaty people. Our commitment begins with acknowledging the truth so that we can move forward together towards reconciliation. Madam Clerk, may we have a motion to approve the agenda, please?
Moved by Lavoie, seconded by Young. Be it resolved that the agenda for the special council meeting of Wednesday, May 22nd, 2024 be received and adopted.
All in favor? Oh, sorry, Councillor Young is not here, so I apologize. There's been, I just want to, so the public knows, 3 councillors have sent their regrets. Some are just finishing up work because we're having an earlier than normal meeting. And so 2 of them should be joining us hopefully by the beginning of the council meeting at 2:30. So Councillor Young, Councillor Schell, and Councillor Bard will not be in attendance for this meeting today. Sorry, could we reassign the...
Seconded by Clark.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? That is carried. Are there any pecuniary interest to disclose at this time by anyone? Seeing none. The open forum, there's no one scheduled to comment in open forum, Madam Clerk?
No, Mr. Mayor, there's not.
Okay. Item 5, reports of municipal officers for action. The next item is regarding to the MSC board. Mr. Dunn, would you like to provide comments at this time, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. The report before you outlines a number of decisions that are required today. A vacant director role was happened as a result of a resignation based on the direction from council. Ms. Jacoby and I interviewed Mr. Paul DeWall. You received confidential correspondence in your council not for public folder. The discussion with Ms. Jacoby and I was very supportive by Mr. DeWall, having recently retired. He's actually restarted his consulting business. However, he's very much looking forward to the opportunity to work as a director with the other members of the MSC. Mr. Mayor, that's the first item. The second, with my resignation retiring on Friday, after consultation with incoming Chief Administrative Officer, Mr. Binns, it was recommended that council consider an interim assignment for the Director of Environmental Services, who is currently the Chief Operating Officer, to be appointed on an interim basis as the Chief Executive Officer of the MSC. From a transition perspective, Mr. Binns is comfortable with that, as is Ms. Jacoby. Those are the 2 matters in this particular report, Mr. Mayor, that are before you.
Thank you very much, CEO Dunn, and thank you for chairing the MSC or taking the lead role, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors, which will be hopefully relaxing, but I got a feeling you'll end up having to do more work when you leave than and you may be applying to come back. So,
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm not certain about that last point, sir, but thank you.
and I'd also like to congratulate both yourself and Michelle on recruiting Mr. Duvall for the position of the MSC. I think he's a very talented individual, and I remember reviewing his resume when we first went out and seek for outside candidates. So, Madam Clerk, you've read the motion on this, and could we have the motion, please?
Moved by Clark, seconded by Hutchison, be it resolved that MSC 2024-01, Robin Dunn, Chief Executive Officer, Municipal Service Corporation, MSC, Board appointments be received and adopted. That Council appoint Mr. Paul Dual as an independent director for the MSC Hold Company and Operating Company. That Council appoint the Township Director of Environmental Services to the MSC Hold Company and Operating Company as the interim Chief Executive Officer.
Okay. Is there any questions or comments at this time before I call the vote? Seeing none, I'll call the vote then. All in favor? That is carried. The next item is a report to be received from Mr. Dunn. Would you like to proceed when ready?
Absolutely, Mr. Mayor, members of council. The report is a summation of activity of the Municipal Service Corporation since its inception with incorporation in 2020. I think it's critically important, Mr. Mayor, to acknowledge the contribution of Ms. Jacoby in her role as the Director of Environmental Services, but also as the Chief Operating Officer of the MSC. Ms. Jacoby has done significant work over the last year and prior to that with the development, the incorporation, and finally getting the wheels moving on the Municipal Service Corporation. The report is laid out, Mr. Mayor, to be able to have a reference point for council sitting as the shareholder. Today, Mr. Mayor, there is the chair of the Municipal Service Corporation Holding Company, Mr. Ian Veach, and the chair of the Utility Corporation, the operating company, Mr. John Scorbahaj, with us in gallery. I'm not certain if Mr. Veach or Mr. Scorbahaj wish to address council as the shareholder.
Mr. Veach.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I wouldn't mind just saying a few words if I could, based on where we are with things, and it's a very exciting opportunity for all of us here working together. And thank you for the opportunity again for allowing us to go through a whole variety of different things here. I won't take long. It'll probably take 5 or 10 minutes at most, but I would like to recognize some people that have been involved with this. First of all, it is a real thank you and a delight to be working with people like I see on my right and back and in front right here today, which is wonderful. I want to congratulate Mr. Paul Dual, our new independent director of the MSC Holding Company. And it's a pleasure to be able to work with Paul, and I'm sure that that will be the case all around. In that vein, I'd also like to recognize my colleague sitting right behind me here, Mr. John Scorbahaj, who is the other MSC board chair. And he has the great opportunity as the MSC operating company individual and has had wonderful backgrounds in CAO work for us. And I think it's great that we can actually use his information. So I think, John, if you can hear me, we're very pleased to be working with each other and with our corporation. I also want to say something very, very large with my colleague here. A hearty congratulations to our CAO and Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Robin Dunn. Robin, we've had opportunities for the last, I think, 7 years to be doing a lot of good work for our organizations. And unfortunately, I know you will be resigning at the end of this week after 17 years of great work with our township. You will be missed. And it's a lot of it is just good fun to be able to work with you and achieve the things that we were able to do together. You will be missed, and all of the years of great work and ideas and support of your wonderful staff and people appreciate you so much as well. Thank you for everything, Robin. We wish you so well in your new enjoyment of new life on the way with family and friends. You certainly deserve it. The other an individual that I actually two here, I want to congratulate our new CAO, our wonderful friend and ally, Mr. Sean Binns, who is taking over, I think, on Friday or close to that, Sean, as our new CAO. And I'm just delighted to know that he has been coming forward with this, and he will be a great CAO for our communities. And I also want to thank our new interim CEO, Ms. Michelle Jacoby, and be able to work with Michelle in that vein for quite some time. She has done excellent work for us over the last number of years and put a lot together of outstanding work that basically has improved our growth in what we're doing, which is really important. And I think that's the kind of stuff that the Municipal Service Corporation will be very pleased with. She's put in place with Robin Dunn for over 6 years the kind of work that we have been wanting to have done with the Municipal Service Corporation from June 13th, 2018, I think, Michelle, to today. That is a pretty outstanding opportunity to have you involved in doing these wonderful things for us. So I just want you to be recognized, and I really will appreciate, as will John and our other colleagues, working with you to do what we have to get done. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So my last thing, Mr. Mayor, is what are the needs and interests of our council members? So I'm going to look at you and say, hey, you have a sense of what we do, but it'd be great to get, if it's not today, at some point over the next month when we have to come back again and work more with you all, that we can do this and be able to come out with some interesting things. I also want to say that we will be coming forward in 2024 over the next month or so with financial information and multi-year budgeting. And of course, we have our own Nellie Morrow here that she does all of that great work for us as well. So we hope to be working with you, Nellie, and be able to make that come forward properly. And I know it's challenging at times. And we will be having others that we have worked with, like KPMG and Airden Burles, as we need to. So it's going to be a very interesting time for all of us. So that is all I have to say, Mr. Mayor, in terms of opening this up to others or to council members. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Veach, and I really truly want to thank yourself and John for all the time you've taken out of your personal lives in order to be a part of this board and the great work you do. It's a lot of heavy work, especially in the initial stages, and I'm glad we have your expertise on side so that we can move things forward as efficiently and productively as possible. Council members, is there any questions or comments? Then, Mr. Dunn.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, Chair Veach, Chair Scorbahaj, that is a summary, Mr. Mayor, of the activities that are outlined in the report. The one thing that I would highlight that Chair Veach identified, Mr. Styenga from Baker Tilly and his audit team are on site today. Certainly finance has been preparing for that audit process. Once the financial statements for the corporation, the Township of Oro-Medonte, are completed, they'll also be completed for the Municipal Service Corporation, at which time They'll be presented to the board by Ms. Jacoby and Ms. Morrow, and eventually have an update, Mr. Mayor, back to council sitting as the shareholder, hopefully with other updates as well. Mr. Mayor, I believe the clerk would like to put the motion with respect to receive the information.
Madam Clerk?
Moved by
My
Hutchison.
apologies. I'm sorry, the Deputy Mayor had a question.
Yes, thank you very much. And through you, with regard to the MSC, is there an asset retirement obligation planned for that corporation as well? It has become an obligation statutorily for municipalities.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, to you, Councillor, yes. The rules related to ARO is what we call it, asset retirement obligation, are both PSAB and IFRS. IFRS is the legislation that we have to follow for the MSC. We are currently undertaking with the consultant the calculations for those liabilities, and those two will be presented on the financial statements both for the township and for the MSC.
Great, thank you very much.
Okay. Any other further comments or questions at this time? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, may we have the motion, please?
Moved by Hutchison, seconded by Clark. Be it resolved that the report as listed under item 6B, Report of Municipal Service Corporation Officers for information only, be received. 6A, actually.
Thank you. All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And confirmation bylaw, may I have a motion for the confirmation bylaw, Madam Clerk?
Moved by Hutchison, second by Lavoie. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2024-060, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the special council meeting held on Wednesday, May 22nd, 2024, be read a first, second, and third time, be engrossed by the clerk, signed and sealed by the mayor.
All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And may we have a motion to adjourn, please?
Moved by Clark, seconded by Lavoie. Be it resolved that we do now adjourn at 12:48 p.m.
All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Thank you, everyone, and we'll reconvene at 2:30 for the council meeting.